Hello, everybody. It's me, Shannon Loverugier. I'm live and loving it tonight. Welcome to Sunday Night Live, where we explore the principles that allow us to thrive in change. And I'm talking about all manner of change, the change we want, the change we don't, the change we planned, the change we didn't see coming, all manner of change. We can learn to navigate it with grace, with resilience, with power, and we can actually grow through those experiences using the principles that we explore here on Sunday Night Live. Thank you for being part of it. Thank you for jumping in. I want to encourage you, if you are new to Sunday Night Live, say hi. Let us know in the comments who you are, where you're from. Make sure you give StreamYard permission to use your Facebook profile and picture. And that way we'll know who you are when we see you. Mary's here. Hello. And Kelly's here. Hello. I'm so thankful that you're here. Welcome. Tonight we are going to be exploring. I had a couple of different options to go. You guys know the challenge I have picking the Thrive principle because so many times what we explore falls into one category or another. So at first I thought this one was going to be trust the process. But I'm here to tell you that tonight's Thrive principle, it is about hashtag bring the honor. Hashtag bring the honor. What we are going to talk about tonight, it hinges on your understanding that you matter, that you matter. You make a difference. You count. And that's what Bring the Honor is all about. Not just honoring others and seeing them as people that God created and they have value intrinsic to that, but seeing ourselves as people of value. Because when we see ourselves as people of value, we behave differently. And so we're going to explore that a little bit. So welcome. Let's see who else is jumping in. Hey, Philip's here. Thank you, Philip. I'm so glad you're here. Awesome. Let's give a shout out to our sponsor, Thumb Roast Coffee. You guys know I'm a big fan. We're in smack in the middle of January, so my Christmas blend is long gone, and I am just loving Santa Lake Sunrise. So good, so good. A friend of ours, a friend of Sunday Night Live, one of our live stream leadership members, was just drinking the Hunter's Blend and said, it's amazing. And just between you and me, the Hunter's Blend has a little bit more caffeine and a little bit more kick. So if that's something that you like, you can try the Hunter's Blend. Any one of the blends that you want to try at thumbroastcoffee.com, you can get an extra 15% off just by using the coupon code THRIVE, THRIVE. You'll get the coffee you deserve. And the way their owner, Missy Bobo, describes it, it's a way to pour love. We can pour love to ourselves and pour love to others just by sharing delicious coffee. It can be as simple as that. So show yourself a little love. Use the coupon, right? Show Thumb Roast Coffee some love. Lots of love to go around. Just check it out, thumbroastcoffee.com. You won't be sorry. It's really, really great stuff. Mwah. All right. Missy's here. Shout out to Missy. Speaking of thumb roast, right? All right. So tonight we are going to talk about choice. We're going to talk about choice. Anybody been to a coffee shop and, bought off the menu? I take a vanilla latte. Usually I get a sugar-free vanilla latte, whole milk, or sometimes I go skim milk if I'm, trying to lose weight. I buy off the menu. But did you guys know there is a secret menu at Thumb Roast Coffee? If you were to go to the Thumb Roast Coffee location in Sandusky, Michigan, and walk up to the counter, you could order off the menu, absolutely, but you've got more choices than what that menu talks about, my friend. There's a thing. There's a thing called a secret menu. What? A secret menu. It's the menu that not everybody knows about. Just some people know about it. And it's usually, kind of quiet and not everybody talks about it and it's not spread out on the walls. But if you were to walk into Thumb Roast Coffee, maybe their Croswell location, and you were to ask the barista for a Lucky Charms latte, they'd know what to give you. Have you ever seen a Lucky Charms latte on the menu? No, because it's a secret. You didn't even know you could ask for a Lucky Charms latte. And Missy assures me that if you order a Lucky Charms latte off of the Thumb Roast secret menu, they will mix you up a drink that tastes just like the cereal. You may find that a good thing. You may find that a bad thing, depending on if you like Lucky Charms, but there's a secret menu. And so Joe Schmo walks in and he thinks his only choices are the ones that are written down, when in reality, he's got a lot more choices than that. A lot more choices on the menu. Here's the thing. Some of us look at our lives and we see a menu that has 3 things on it. 4 things tops. What am I going to do with my life? And we choose based on this limited understanding of what our choices are. It's like there's a secret menu to our life that we didn't even know exists. That happened to me. That happened to me. When I was growing up, I went to school in a really good school district. And I'm really grateful for the counselor that I had who helped guide me. I'm really grateful for the teachers I had and the mentors. It was all wonderful. But I was not aware of just how vast my choices were. I relied on a handful of people. I trusted them to tell me what my options were. And that's appropriate for a young person often. The problem is when the people we're looking at aren't telling us all the options. Maybe it's because they don't want us to know. Maybe it's because they don't know them themselves. But this is what I know, that when I was in my last year of high school, I thought I had one option. I thought my option was to go to a certain college and take certain classes. That's all I knew. I'm going to do that. That's my path. I didn't realize that I could have gone to school anywhere. I could have gone to school in a foreign country. I could have gone to school in another state. I didn't know that. I didn't realize that that was on my menu. It was like a secret menu that bunches of people were doing. Bunches of people were going to schools that I'd never heard of, in states I'd never been to, or in countries that I'd never gone to. I had a certain menu in front of me based on what I learned, based on what I was told when I was growing up, based on what people who were wise advisors thought would be great for me. But the truth of it is, those limited choices that they offered me were just a small slice. I want you to know that your choices are limited by the options that you're aware of. I'm going to say that again. Your choices are limited by the options that you're aware of. Choice is a function of awareness. You can't choose something if you don't know it exists. Thank me later. You now know that you can go to Thumb Roast Coffee and order a Lucky Charms latte, something you did not know a half hour ago. You know now. And next time you go, you can ask for one and your mind will be blown. I'm convinced. How many other options are there out there for you that are so much more life-changing than a latte? What options have you not even considered because you didn't know they existed. One of my clients was frustrated with her job, and it had changed. The parameters of her job had changed, and she had been contributing at a high capacity, and then the programs that she had developed were being tweaked and twisted and chopped, and pretty soon they didn't look anything like the great work that she had put out there to accomplish the great things she was trying to achieve. And instead they had been compromised and truncated, and she was frustrated. And so she went and she talked with her boss about it. And her boss said, "What are you going to do about it? It's not like you're going to go get another job." What? What? Here's somebody's boss who's decided to limit her options. Went so far as to tell her she didn't have any. He was wrong. She has countless options, endless options. And she started exploring them. If you're looking around at your circumstances and you're settling, and we've talked about settling, when you look around at your circumstances and you think you're settling, I want you to know there are more options to solve your problem, far more chances for you to quit settling, to step up, to lean into your calling and your purpose. Sometimes the people in your life don't want you to pursue them, so they don't ever show them to you. Sometimes they don't have the confidence in you. This boss surely didn't have confidence in that person that came to me for coaching. I'll tell you what she did. She started exploring her options. Sometimes we're afraid to explore our options, you guys. Sometimes we're afraid to explore our options because we're afraid it means we have to take them, but it doesn't. All it does is open up an opportunity to choose in a way that perhaps will better reflect our gifts, our goals, our purpose, our calling. It opens up our opportunity to choose in a way that makes us a steward of the gifts God has given us, instead of a hoarder and a protector of them, a hider of them. We're not called to protect our gifts and talents. We're called to steward them. And if you're looking at a menu that doesn't have a Lucky Charms latte on it, you guys, I'm here to open your eyes. You have options. One of our faithful Sunday Night Live attendees, Mary Bell Edwards, I'm going to shout out to you. I am so proud of you. I am so proud of how you've grown, how you continue to grow. I can remember when I first met you and when you first started showing up for Sunday Night Live, and how you felt like you were settling in some areas of your life and you felt like you didn't have any options. But you took a hard look and you opened up your mind to the possibility that there were other things you could do. You could hang with a different group of people. You could seek out a different group of friends. You could change churches. And look how far you've come. What a life you are living because you allowed yourself to look at the secret menu, the menu that other people take advantage of all the time, but you didn't think was yours. It is yours. It is yours. Welcome, Carol. I'm glad you're here. Carol says this: sometimes we're forced to move in different directions. When John Hancock closed, I had to think about a different direction, and who knew it would lead to a business of my own, something I so love to do. Carol, I love that. Talking about change, right? An unexpected and unwelcome change came to you when John Hancock forced you to move, forced you to make a change. But it also, and here's Find the Beauty. Boy, you guys, this could just as easily be Find the Beauty, right? Things might be dark, but that means there's light. Anytime there's light, there's dark. Anytime there's dark, there's light. If it's dark, we know there's light somewhere. You got to start looking for it, right? When we're in the midst of unwelcome change, we can intentionally choose to explore other options. In your case, you started a business of your own. You went and got the Lucky Charms latte. You decided, I don't want what's on this menu. I'm going to pick something else. I'm going to pick something that suits me better. I'm going to pursue something. And you use your gifts, your talents, your abilities, and you begin to fulfill the purpose and calling that God put on your life. I want each and every one of you to know you matter. How you choose matters. And the more choices you have, the more options you're aware of, the better your choices can be. The better your choices can be. Just because you explore an option doesn't mean you have to take it. But choice is a function of awareness. If you don't know what the options are, you're choosing from 4 things on a menu when actually there's 40. And you matter enough to open up your options. When you believe that what you do doesn't matter, it doesn't matter what you do, doesn't matter where you go, doesn't matter who you do it with. When you don't understand that you are a person of honor and what you do counts, it's easy to let somebody else hand you this cheapo, flimsy menu and say, here, pick one of these 2 things. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Let me see what else you got. Let me see what else you got. Have you ever gone to buy a used car and the salesman really bad wanted to unload that old minivan and you really weren't looking for one, but he really bad needed to sell it? And you're thinking, I don't want a minivan. Oh, it's perfect for you, he says. And look at this. It's beautiful. It's got character. No, it's got rust. Yeah, but it's character. Oh, he can sell it. But he's not interested in getting you what you need. He's not interested in serving you. He's interested in getting rid of this car. It's been on his lot for 89 days. Sometimes the options that are placed in front of us by the people that we're looking to for leadership and guidance are either intentionally or unintentionally. Doesn't matter if they're doing it to be mean or if they're doing it to be kind, limiting our options. When I worked at the Postal Service, I was newly promoted into management, and one of the top executive in our district called us all together and said, hey, you guys, I probably shouldn't be telling you this, but it looks like they might be closing our district down and you guys are going to be needing jobs. Whoa, like, man, what's going on here? I was flabbergasted. What am I going to do? I just got into management. I was the district manager's secretary. If the district went away, his secretary didn't have a job. I'd be out there on the street. What's going on? Calm myself down. And I started looking at my options, not just within the Postal Service, I knew that I could put letters in mailboxes if I needed to. But I started exploring outside of the Postal Service. What could I do? What was I good at? I was an executive secretary. What kind of jobs were available for executive secretaries? I found out a lot. I explored a lot of options. I found out that I was pretty close to being selected to being an executive assistant to a vice president for Volkswagen. Only problem was they worked on opposite hours than people in America sleep. And I had to be on call 24 hours a day. And I was only going to get a week of vacation. And I didn't get any sick leave. Whoa! Turns out there were a lot of things on that menu I did not want. But I was able to explore them outside of what I thought my life was going to look like. I explored them. No, that's not for me. I didn't take it. I stayed with the Postal Service. It wasn't long before I got a better job, a position I loved. I was able to rock for years. It was fantastic. Exploring our options doesn't mean that we have to take them, but it helps us to understand what's available. Sometimes it helps us to appreciate what we have. Sometimes it helps us to know we've been settling, right? Mary says, it has been an experience. Sometimes a roller coaster, isn't it, Mary? Growth is an experience, 100%. Carol says, this is so good. On Saturday morning with you in live stream in the Leadership Mastermind, we have learned so much about what is out there. Wow, change and growing has been a blessed journey. Yeah, just understanding what is out there and also how we can create our own menu. We don't have to go off of someone else's. You started your own business. You created your own menu. You didn't take what somebody else gave you. Sometimes I like nothing more than to walk into Thumb Roast Coffee and say, I want a large Sanilac Sunrise. Give me a little bit of a sugar-free vanilla and I'm all set. But there's a secret menu, you guys. Lots of cool stuff on that thing that we didn't even know existed. Life is a treasure chest. It is a treasure chest. And you are a treasure. You are a treasure. I want you to know that what you choose matters. What you choose matters. And if you're choosing based on somebody else's agenda, if you're choosing based on what everybody who came before you did, if you're choosing based on what other people think you ought to be doing, if you're not choosing based on what you know God's given you to be a steward of, you're missing out. And you're robbing the world of what you were created to contribute. You matter. And the choices you make matter. Every time you choose to step back into safety, Mary, you said it's been an experience. It's always a choice, isn't it? We can step forward into growth or we can step backward into safety. Forward into growth, backward into safety. Every time you step backward into safety, you settle and you withhold a beautiful gift that could be helping somebody, impacting your world, changing things for the better, changing you for the better as you use it. Your choices matter. And if you feel like your choices are limited, if you feel like you are trapped, I'm here to tell you that there is hope and there is help. If you feel like you are trapped, I would love to talk with you. Drop it in the comments, direct message me. I would love to talk with you if you feel like you're trapped. I want to help you see what options you have and help you get some clarity on what's important to you so that you know which options to take. I want to be the person who's outside of the picture frame. I want to be the person who's outside who says, hold on a second, these walls that you got up, let's push those down. You can see better when we get those out of the way. I can help you. I would love to help you. Sometimes we feel like that we have to do things the same way everybody else did them, but everybody else didn't do them that way either. It's all in our head. The things we think people do, the things we think people say, the ways we think things have to be done. Until you explore your options, you will not know if that's true or not. I do know this. What you do matters and the choices you make matter. And you can choose today to step forward into growth. Forward into growth. Backward into safety. Hunker down for a while. Pick off your limited menu. Keep it safe. Keep it easy. No one will notice. That's not the life you were created for. You were created to grow and expand. Your options are limitless. There is no limit to what you can do. You've got a spark of God in you, the Creator, breathed his life into you. You were made for great things. Choose to open up your options. Try a Lucky Charms latte. Ask to see the secret menu. Well, how did you do it? How did you get where you are? How did you find the financing for that business? How did you get that scholarship for that college? You know what I didn't know? I didn't know that very expensive private colleges offered private scholarships to students like me. I didn't know. If I had known that, maybe I would have wanted to go to an Ivy League school. I don't know. I'm not complaining about the choice I made. Oh, it connected me with beautiful people. It's really set the stage for the life I have now. I have no regrets. But I do understand that I was picking from a very limited menu at the time. And I know so much more now. Let me help you identify some options. Let me help you get some clarity about what it is you want, what you are stewarding, and how your choices can amplify that. I would love to. I would love to. You guys, you are beautiful. You are gifted. You are created by God to do amazing things, not necessarily famous things, not necessarily billionaire things, but you're created to do amazing things, impactful things, powerful things. Start looking at other options. What could you do? Maybe you don't want to, but what could you do? What's possible? What's ridiculous? What's ridiculous? Find out more about that. Find out more about that. All right. Other people's choices or other people's expectations are not your only choices. Understand that. Even people who care about you, they don't see the big picture. They don't know everything. Take wise counsel, consider it, but know this. Other people's expectations are not your only choices. The things other people know aren't the only things out there either. Understand there's always more. You get to decide when to stop pursuing. You get to decide when enough's enough. I have enough choices. My menu's big enough. I'm satisfied with a Lucky Charms latte for now, but always know that there's more out there if you want to look for it. Sometimes we don't understand what our options are, that we have small problems that feel big, but they're easy to fix. Communication problems that we've got that we don't realize that we are missing connections right and left. Simple solutions. These are things I work in all the time with clients. So interesting to see people go to the same tool over and over to solve their problem without understanding that there are options. And I'm going to use that as a segue to let you know that tomorrow's the day that we start the JOMO Control the Scroll Challenge. Joy of missing out. Control the scroll. Social media is out there. I know people who refuse to even use it. They refuse to use it. They said, I am just not going to get caught up in that. And I respect that. But I know other people who look at it and say, you know, I use it all the time and I like some of it, but there's other pieces of it that have taken over my life. I get it. If that's you, if you see social media not eternally, but continually creeping into your life bigger and bigger and bigger, taking up more and more of your time. Instead of spending 2 minutes on the Scrabble game, you're spending 20 minutes. And then you have to finish the New York Times crossword puzzle, because if it's not finished, you don't get the star. You kind of want to have you got a star yesterday and the day before, so you need a star today. And all of a sudden now you've spent an hour and 20 minutes playing games online. And then, of course, when you go into TikTok, those things are hilarious, you guys. Hilarious. An hour and a half later, you've been laughing at ridiculous videos, and now you've spent over 10% of your day doing what? Sometimes we need to just have a few things in place to help us to control the scroll, to help us to be able to live within the digital boundaries that are going to allow us to be who we want to be, have the relationships we want to have, do the things we want to do. If that sounds like you, this isn't a cold turkey, you swear off of social media for 6 months type of a thing. This is very practical, very doable, but very effective 10 days of taking effective action toward having better digital wellness. If that sounds interesting to you, you need to join us and control the scroll. And I will definitely post the link. I think it's actually pinned. The event's pinned at the Thrive and Change page. I put it into the Sunday Night Live page, and I'll drop it here in the comments too, a link. I would love for you to start with us. It's a real simple process. A short video every day that we get in a private Facebook group with some inspiration from yours truly, a really powerfully designed workbook with some small but impactful actions that we take every day, some accountability built in, a little bit of laughter, a couple of live check everybody out, let's make sure we're on the same page type of stuff. It's going to be fun. I hope you join us. Look for that link. There are more options than just all or nothing with social media. You can build some boundaries that allow it to be a tool in your life and not a tyrant. All right, with that, we're going to wrap up. Carol says, my mom encouraged us to read and she believed in continuing to learn. Amen to that. Opening up our options, right? When we're readers, we get to see other ways of thinking, other styles of living, other ways of doing things. It's pretty powerful. Reading has changed my life. Reading is one of the ways that I've kind of expanded my menu. With that, you guys, have a wonderful, wonderful evening. God bless you. I love you all. Jump into Jomo if you want to put some nice, strong, sensible boundaries around your digital life and do it with some friends. That's us. Join us. And if there's anything else that you're stuck on or you need, just send me a direct message and we can talk about that. Take care. Mwah. Bye.